We had Larry King on yesterday, Patrice.
On this show?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I got to be honest with you. It was really cool shit.
Did y'all fucking dig into him, or you let him be an old man and just fade away?
He held his own. He killed. He was hilarious.
He got in there
great
and told some stories.
I'm sure you had the Larry King guys. Everybody.
We didn't do the Larry King. It was hard because it was hard to get in at times because he was telling stories and all that.
But good stories too.
He had stories about Lenny Bruce, Jackie Gleason on the Jackie Gleason party train. He had a Jimmy Hoffa story when Jimmy Hoffa was alive.
That he remembered?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Who else? Don Rickles. He was telling us about Frank Sinatra.
What was the best story?
What was the best story?
What was the pop story? What was the wow factor?
I don't know. I think the wow factor was asking him about that goddamn where were the groceries after the rape story he told.
Remember that clip?
What did he say?
You remember the clip where the girl got abducted and raped horribly?
In the car.
But she was abducted coming out of a grocery store, so there were groceries in the car. And Larry goes,
what happened
to the food?
She tells the horrid story of being raped, but in the middle of it,
right?
she says,
we played it for him.
So I had the groceries in the front seat, and he came in, and he started grabbing me, and he handcuffed me to the steering wheel and sexually abused me. And the first question, he's like, what happened to the food?
What did he say?
Let's play it. Fuck it.
Okay.
You're here for a while.
What did he say after he?
Here's the whole thing.
To you guys.
Yeah.
No, we got the clip from yesterday.
Good.
I think the whole thing is 4 minutes. It's worth listening to.
Okay.
From yesterday, Larry King. He was just great, and here we go.
I have to ask you something that I've been toiling over since I heard it.
Toil.
This was something where you said something during an interview where I couldn't fathom this. It was a woman. She was talking about a horrific rape that had happened, and it was in her car, I believe. And she had gone shopping, grocery shopping, and she describes this horrible situation of this sexual assault. And you actually asked, your first question to her was, what did you do with the groceries? Do you remember that one?
No, but it would have been something I'd ask. What happened to the groceries?
I was like, that is probably the most inappropriate thing you could have asked at the moment.
She was taken back by
I would love to know your mindset behind something like that.
I have no memory of that. I swear to God.
Do you have the clip?
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, because I would love to play
My only guess, if you have, I hope you have the clip, because then I could have an explanation.
Put it in context, right?
Put it in context. Now, maybe.
Why can't I find it? Okay.
Yeah, pop that in. Track 18. This was the.
I got the long version. So.
Okay, that's good. That'll put it in context.
It was about a minute.
It's got to cue up.
As I came out of the grocery store and got in my car, Philip knocked on my window and said, I can't seem to get my car to start. It's cold. Do you think you could give me a ride? Which way are you going? And, of course, he was going to go any which way I was going. And so I did.
Why did you let him in the car?
I don't know. It was the worst decision I've ever made, I think. It truly was.
What happened when he got in?
When he got in, I filled his hands with a lot of food that they had in the front seat anyway. I tried to engage him in...
He was holding your food?
Mm-hmm. He was. I tried to engage him in small conversation on the trip. I tried to stay on the main street, and when I got ready to turn, he said, well, where I'm staying is right up the road here. So I took him a little further up, and then just turned around the corner and pulled over, and he slammed my head into the steering wheel and pulled out handcuffs. He took my keys out, threw them on the floor, and pulled out handcuffs and handcuffed me and said, I just want a piece of ass. If you be good, you won't get hurt.
What did he do with the food?
He put it on the floor, I guess.
That was a very... Stop right there.
Okay.
Now, you see you guys taking out of context.
Now I would...
You took it totally out of context.
I finally get an answer, though. This is fantastic.
Wait a minute, hold it.
We've been obsessed with this one, Larry.
Obsessed.
Obsessed. We've played that clip a lot.
You played a lot?
Yes.
That was great questioning.
Okay.
I got her in the car.
Finally.
Yeah. Why did she let the guy in the car?
Okay.
I
Great
got her
question.
driving, right? Now I got her driving. Now, she said there was food in the car.
Yeah.
The guy, by the way, I'm trying to remember this case because it was
1976. It was Philip Garrido.
Yeah. Garrido.
Garrido
Was later charged with harboring he hit a woman for years. He's still alive somewhere. The Garrido case,
right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. He denied it. His lawyer was denying it. So part of a good police investigation would be, you said there was food in the front of the car, right? Mm-hmm. He's knocking you out of the car. He's taking you out of the car. What happened to the food? Did he knock the food over? Was the food found at the scene? One of my great moments.
All right, investigative
That's
reporting.
a whole series. You're taking it out of... See, you ask it as just as if a woman said I was raped. What happened to the food? That's not what happened. So you guys are playing...
Is he turning this on us?
I
Taking
think he
advantage.
is.
Can't happen.
So what
Finally
you did
turned
there,
it on us.
what you did, you've been playing that for a long time?
For a while.
That was terrible radio.
Well, now at least we know you were, because she seemed like a sympathetic kind of character at the time, but you were actually trying to trip her up, it seemed.
I didn't try to make her unsympathetic.
We felt
I'm
like
trying
you were
to get
obsessed with the food.
I wasn't obsessed. I'm trying to get the whole story.
Yeah.
How did the guy get in? He's knocked her out.
Right.
She's driven to a place. You got her around the corner. He's got the food. Remember, where is the food? Where's
the
front
food?
seat?
Right.
Said back seat. I never asked the question.
Right.
Okay.
He's got to knock her out. He's got to bang her head against the door.
Right.
Get her out of the car. Right. What happened to the food?
She was knocked out. She don't know.
I'm a detective. I'm
And we're back live.
Now,
Patrice is shocked.
what's your take on that?
Dude, I learned a great word in my life called sophistry.
Yeah.
And it's senseless sense. It's basically something that is horseshit, but it makes sense. You know he's full of shit, but when he said, "Where's the food?" it was as dumb as it was, but
yes,
you go, I get it, but still, who gives a fuck?
Right.
This is where y'all fucked up. Okay, let's make sense out of that question. But where's the food? What difference did it make, Larry? What was the next level of the investigation? If you was the detective and asked where the food was, what the fuck would that mean?
I think he's trying to trip her up, saying because his lawyer and himself was saying that the guy was innocent. He's trying to trip her up, all right, well, he did all this, so what happened to the food then?
He moved the food.
Exactly. The food was probably all over the floor of the car.
He fucked me on top of the pudding.
Right. Yeah, yes.
As I was sucking his dick by force, he was hitting me in the back of the head with a fresh loaf of bread.
And I think anyone would assume that.
He was matching a grapefruit in my face and going, man, suck my dick, bitch.
My bananas ended up on his heel.
And I think anyone would assume that.
He slid away. He slid. He was eating potato chips as he was raped. What is
the question had to have been asked because everyone assumed
that was
the food just
horseshit.
went all
Because
over
he's
the
not a
place.
detective. He's an interviewer.
And he fucking had no reason to say that except for he's an old man.
You know what?
Who he was probably interviewing with his chin in his hand, and he just was like
dozing off,
thinking about the food.
And the last thing he heard was the food, so it's like, what happened to the food? Where'd it go?
But he's been around long enough that he spun it right back at us.
It was genius. Now you understand how people who can think a guy is so inept could be on the air for 80 years and basically without incident.
Right.
And have kids at 80. And fucking, he goes, well, and you go, wait a minute, wait. Give me 2 seconds to tell you full of shit.
He was great. He went with everything yesterday.
Talked about how he was married. I asked him about being married 8 times, and he said he'd probably in his whole life only been in love maybe 3 times, and that when he was married, there were times where he was going into his wedding and just knew this was horse shit and wasn't going to work. And
he sounded sharp and funny though, man.
He was extremely sharp. Not the guy we got to know at the end of his career on CNN.
What's that picture of him being arrested? What happened there?
That's a classic. That's been around.
That's from, I guess, 1971.
Mm-hmm. What was he arrested for?
I don't know.
Yeah. The other thing,
stealing food from a rape victim.
And the other thing, so Sam asked him in the 10 o'clock hour or right after the appearance about the skateboard dude.
Right. That was our
Patrice,
second biggest horseshit question.
Oh, we don't have the original.
The one I remember that was weird to me was the Sharon Tate Sharon Tate thing.
Oh man, the Sharon Tate one.
That one got to me. That one was like, wow, that was
a man that so brutally murdered your sister. It's like, well, he never murdered my sister. What are you talking about? Oh, what I meant, and then his explanation of what he meant was such horseshit.